Hey there crew, welcome back to our channel. We are still hard at work at our Short Hills, Jersey job. If you might have seen from a previous video, we installed some LED waffles in this high up ceiling with a scaffold in the great room. Check this out, we got some workers working right over here. We got some guys that are taking care of those patch-ups that we did in the ceiling. And let's take a look over here and follow the noise. And we got, okay, let's see what we got going on over here. Previous video, you might have seen us installing these LED lights in the bedroom. I got Gus right over here. Check that out, he's actually cutting out the new junction box, actually the new gang box that we're gonna put in there with all those switches that are Savant. And today we are working in the kitchen. So let me show you what we're working on. Actually, you know what? Let's just go there directly instead of doing a cutaway. Let's just walk right there. All right, folks, I'm gonna walk right to the kitchen. Now, first, this is a great foyer. I'm sorry, the great room. You might have seen that the foyer over there, the guys are patching up. We installed those lights up there. See that? That's all painted and patched, ready to go. We got speakers that are gonna be going on up on top over there. On a previous video, you might have seen us cutting this open here and running all these electrical. All right, we capped that up here just so people don't stick their hands in there. And another video, we installed some lights over here in the family room. All right, and so today will be kitchen. Now, on a previous video, you've seen us taking the lights out for the kitchen, which is right over here. See that? They already covered that up. It's all patched up, ready to go. Now what we're gonna do is today, we're gonna go ahead and cut out those lights out with 6-inch. And I have a work light already prepped up over here. We got the Romex ready to go. And now let's talk about what I did previously off camera in the kitchen. In no relationship to the lighting, I still wanted to know what's going on with all these loads. So I went around and I actually tested all these electrical and put some tape on there. And then I went back to the panel so then I know, which circuits that we're working with. So if you check this out over here, you see that this is a GFCI outlet. And that actually says panel D circuit 14, right? 20 amp. And it says GFCI going that way. So it is that one right there. So that goes this way. Check that out. All right, over here, we got another outlet that says GFCI and it tells right over here, there's our GFCI. So this one trips all those outlets that are over here. Then we have some under cabinet lighting. So if you notice, I actually labeled them under cabinet lighting switch number 2. This one says under counter lighting switch number 2, under counter lighting switch number 2. And then if I go over here, this says under counter lighting switch number 2. So that just tells people that this is the under cabinet lighting for switch number 2. Then we have on this side of the kitchen, we have some more switches and outlets that we were working with. And this is the lighting layout plan that we're gonna be working with. And check this out over here. This is actually the under cabinet lighting switch number 1 that will belong to this right over here. See that? So that says under cabinet lighting switch number 1. This one says under cabinet lighting switch number 1. So these two are together on that leg. And it actually also follows all the way over here for under counter lighting. Over here, I actually trail this over here, and this feeds the outlets that way. So if you see those outlets there, it feeds those outlets. It also feeds this tail that's down over here. Then I also found something that says island number 1. And what that tells me is I actually put a tracer, and then down over here, there used to be an island. On a previous video, you might see that. But then if you take a look at that Romex that's on the floor, that says island number 1. So that outlet backfeeds an outlet that used to be in the island over here. Then we have some tails that are sitting on the floor. And then I label these, and I actually found them in the circuit. And then I actually label them, so then next time that we come back and we're working with the kitchen, if they hire us back to come back so we can install the equipment in the kitchen, we might be the ones. But today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut all these out. Okay, so right now what I gotta do is I'm gonna go ahead and prep the lights out. And now, come on, I got in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep the lights, and I'm gonna get on a time lapse, and you're gonna see me prepping these lights right over here. We're gonna be using 6-inch LED. I'm gonna prep the cans, and I'm also gonna prep the 6-inch cutout blade that's on here. So let's get on a time lapse and prep that up. And then from there, we're gonna go ahead and jump into getting a laser installed there. And then I got my laser right over here. This is my office. And then I have my laser that's charged up. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a laser right around here. Okay, so then we can get this grid installed right over here. So that's actually 16 LED lights, about 16 LED lights and 2 speakers on the side. All right, I think I've been yapping a lot. Longest intro ever. Let's get to it.
Alrighty crew, in this part of the time lapse you'll see my dad and Gus starting the process of measuring out the room so they can have the centers for where the lights will go. This is the exact same process that they took in which we found the centers that we wanted for the master bedroom as well. Now the way we found this was very simple, although it takes its time. The process itself is taking the laser in which you see my dad and Gus using and trying to find the center of each individual space in which where we want our lights to go. Now the laser really helps with this process because it essentially finds the perfect center and level. So once the pencil marking stage is over, the only thing my dad and Gus have to do is take that speaker hole or can light hole maker for the drill and just drill right where they make their markings. So you're going to see exactly that as this time lapse progresses.
All right, crew, bit of an update on the kitchen. So if you might have seen one of our previous videos, check that out. The same fashion that we did in the master bedroom, we took out all the cans. We also installed 6-inch, no, actually we did 4-inch in the master bedroom. So in the same fashion that we did over there, that we had to take out all those cans. In a previous video, you've seen us going into the attic of the kitchen and take out all those cans. At that time, we actually had the cabinet seal was still here. But today, you might have seen on that time lapse that we were cutting out all the holes. Check it out. We got it all done over here. So we got all the 6-inch cutouts in the ceiling. So now me and Gus actually gonna start popping in some of these lights. And then we're gonna decide that we're gonna be using about 3 different loads for the lights. And then let me have you step over here to our engineering department. So we're gonna have the outer perimeter lights are gonna be in a single switch. Then we're gonna have the 4 quartz lights in here. I think that should be in a 1 switch as well. And then the 2 lights in the middle on the island, that's gonna be in a separate switch. All right, so I believe we have our loads ready to go that we picked out right over here. Okay, me and Gus are gonna get together and wire up this place and get it ready for either tomorrow or the next day so we can come back and keep on working. All right, so let's, okay folks, I am back upstairs above the kitchen on that office space. You might have seen the previous video where we installed the TV connection where we removed that bottom molding, ran some wires, did a little bit of electrical in there and run some data lines for the TV. And on a previous video, you remember that we had to get into this attic in here. Well, guess what? Today I'm kind of flying solo. Justin's not here. He's actually out having a baby pretty soon. So I'm gonna be a granddad again. He's number 3 of 5. And my number 1 already made me a granddad. Anyway, so now what I have to do is I have to crawl in here and meet Gus. He's waiting for me downstairs. So I'm gonna crawl all the way in there. I already have a light set up deep in there with this extension cord. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go all the way over there and send them a feed. And then if we find any staples in there, we're gonna repurpose some of the wire. We're gonna use this Racketeer Shark tool in here so we can remove those staples and hand it down to tool. Hand it down to Gus. And let's see if I can get in there. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn on my light. Let's see, I'm gonna turn on my light right away so I can see a little better. As you guys can see that, pretty cool. And it is time to dive in there. Check it out. All right, so All right, here we go. So I'm gonna be crawling through here. All right, check it out. And okay, let me go ahead and get the Gus. All right, let's get over there and see where he's at. And then I got my headband light. All right, and let's see. Oh, we got our little light right over here. And this is where I have to work. And I think I already previously drilled some holes so I can get the Gus right over there. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, let me go ahead and crawl in there and hand over Gus the light right from above. And hopefully we can get that going. So right below we got the time lapse going on while I feed the power feeds to Gus. He'll be popping in possibly some of those lights. Let's go, let's get out of here.
Now crew, you may have thought that might have been the end of the video, but actually we came back a couple of days later to finish this part of the kitchen because we ran out of 6-inch LED waffle lights and we didn't get any until they were finally in stock and on site, so we can finally finish up this room, slap on those LED waffles, and brighten up this room as if it didn't need any more lights. Funny enough crew, it took so long for us to finally get back to this room and put up these simple LED waffles that my baby was born by the time we're back here. And if you even, have an eagle eye during this time lapse, you can even see that I'm running around here doing my own thing around in this Short Hills job. That's gonna have to be it for today crew, but please stay tuned for next week's video as I am very excited for how that's gonna turn out. But that doesn't diminish the quality of this video. So of course, please enjoy the rest of this time lapse and watch as this room illuminates as if it's its own light show. So like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, and of course, wait until next week's video.